Hi, this is Charles Linden. I want to talk to you about a symptom that's very, very common in anxiety disorders, and that is the fear of dying. We get many, many reports from our clients phoning us initially at the start of the program and before starting the program, asking us whether it's possible to get rid of this overwhelming fear of illness and of dying and of collapsing. Well, the quick answer is yes, it is. In fact, during my anxiety disorder years, I had this exact same fear. And it's a fear that is absolutely elementary in anxiety disorders and in life in general. Most people are frightened of the unknown. Most people are frightened of change. Most people are frightened of loss. But in anxiety disorders, all of these appropriate fears are embellished by the underlying anxiety, high anxiety level, the adrenaline itself that is pumped into the bloodstream during the flight or fight response. If we sat, as non-anxious people, if we sat around thinking about the things that could possibly happen in life, in our environments, during our days, we could become very scared about some very inappropriate things. We all worry about our children and about our families, and we worry about ourselves and our health. Some more than others. But ultimately, the things of life, the normal routines of day, the monotony of life, takes over and stops us from thinking about these things. When somebody develops an anxiety disorder and their adrenal levels are higher than would normally happen, they focus on the things that are happening inside their bodies and outside of their bodies as well, more than they would under normal circumstances. And this happens primarily because the anxiety response involves a mechanism, a thought mechanism, that is controlled by the amygdala, the anxiety control center. And this thought mechanism sends out what-if questions. And these developed as a way of us assessing, doing a risk assessment really of our environments. And of course, in anxiety disorder, there is no real risk present in our environment. There's no saber-toothed tiger or dinosaur or man with a gun. So under normal circumstances, anxiety levels go back down to normal. These what-if questions do their job. They analyse the situation we're in. Say, for example, if we have a car crash, they send out the question, we do an analysis of the situation we're in, and we react appropriately. And whether that involves high anxiety or not is decided by the subconscious mind. But in anxiety disorders, we have a permanently high level of anxiety and therefore an excess of adrenaline in the bloodstream. And these what-if questions are firing all the time. And we have a lot of people saying, I think horrible thoughts about family and friends, about hurting people, about hurting my children or doing inappropriate things to them, or maybe homosexual things, or maybe things of a religious nature that you really wouldn't normally focus on. Well, this fear of dying and this fear of illness and of losing consciousness and all of these catastrophic thoughts that happen during the anxiety response are the result of these what-if thought processes. And what I'll say to you is that during your anxiety recovery, you'll find that these fears will get less and less and less and eventually fade away completely, as they did with me and as they have with all of my clients that we've helped. Because without the underlying high anxiety to fuel these what-if thoughts, they can't exist. And if they don't exist, they won't be doing this risk assessment. And they won't be throwing up thoughts about dying, about your health, about the symptoms you're experiencing, about your location, agoraphobic type symptoms. You will return to a normal level of anxiety. Of that I am absolutely certain. But you have to do this by addressing the root cause of your anxiety in the anxiety control